Recently, I've revisited The Sims 2 on the PlayStation 2 to play it for a long play. I went back and redid the entire game, including the extra locations that I had not played before. And upon revisiting it, it occurred to me that if it weren't for the fact that I had such a romantic outlook on what you do in the game, that being help people, I probably never would have been able to finish the original Let's Play in its even heavily edited format. A great deal of the game's appeal seems to come down to how well you roleplay properly. And there was one character that stuck out to me, the one you're seeing on screen right here, Phil Phantasm. I found his career and campaign and story mode to be kind of inspiring. Maybe not for the reasons that most people would find it, and I didn't really like the lore that was given by default. But it was fun to roleplay for Phil and actually build a house and to help him become successful in life in a way that I didn't find as satisfying for the other characters. And this really, of course, comes down to personal taste. I've seen some people play the Sims console games, such as the channel Born Losers Gaming, and roleplay it successfully the whole way through, and thoroughly enjoy the objectives in designing houses and making friends. Making friends was probably the worst part for me. I do not like how quickly friends deteriorate in the Sims console games, especially The Sims 2 and The Sims Bustin' Out. It seems that people will be happy to throw away your friendship if you don't speak to them in a week or so, which is just absurd. Even if I play the game at my own pace, not to record it for a long play, but just at my own pace to enjoy it, I would still find the speed at which friendships deteriorate to be unreasonable. It just seems like the game is out to get you with how quickly people are just prone to forget about what you've done with them and for them in these games. There's also the fact that The Sims 2 in particular seems to be a real buggy mess. Sometimes objectives don't trigger properly, sometimes completions of objectives don't trigger properly. Sometimes when you press the cross button to do a social, the characters just stand there and stare at each other for an hour instead of actually doing the social you have selected. That was incredibly irritating. Immediately after revisiting The Sims 2 on PlayStation 2, my sisters and I revisited The Sims Bustin' Out, which is a very similar game, the primary difference being that you control the Sims with a cursor and there are less objectives to complete, which makes the game shorter. Well, shorter if you don't painstakingly get all the endings. But while the Bustin' Out seems far more technically sound, less prone to freeze-ups and all that jazz, it seems to have the same issues with deteriorating friendships, and the friendships may even deteriorate faster. Don't take my word on that. It's not like I've done a serious scientific study on this. And it's worth noting that the fun I've had playing in free play mode with another person in The Sims 2 on console is probably just kind of incredibly difficult to express in words. Like, playing The Sims 2 on console in free play mode with our brother was probably some of the most fun I've had playing a video game with another person because of the freedom. And you know, when you only control the two Sims, you can say they're friends if you want, and no one's going to tell you otherwise. You don't have to play by the game's rules when you and another player are controlling a sim. You can just make them be friends, mechanically or otherwise. But yes, those are my thoughts upon revisiting The Sims 2. It's depressing to play because of the speed of the friend deterioration. How much you enjoy it probably depends on how well you can roleplay as the characters the story mode gives you. And I found it incredibly depressing to time manage, and it really fucked with my nerves.